There comes a time in a man's life when he looks back and reflects on his past adventures. He looks back at the tools that faithfully served him in his time of need and smiles as he remembers all that he went through with them. Now, I'm not quite at that stage of life yet, but I can already see the day when I'll look back at this knife and remember the animals I've hunted and butchered with it, the shelters I've built with it, the fires I've started with it, and the meals I've cooked with it actually. Now, for some, using a Randal made knife is kind of a sacrilege, but to me there's nothing I enjoy more than using a piece of true Americana that has a rich history of woodsmen and sailors and adventurers who used them, actually who used this same exact knife. Now, this knife here is a Randal made knife. It's a Model 5 with a 5-inch blade actually. It has some brass bolsters and butt cap, I guess. The steel on this knife is a 01 forge tool steel, and the handle actually, it's a black micarta, which is some pretty bomb-proof stuff. Now, as far as the leather sheet goes, it's great. To me, it's great. I mean, the leather is of great quality. The stitching is true. It's fine. So the assembly, the attention to detail, just like the knife sheet, is no joke. As you can see here, you have the stamp, the Randal made knife, Florida, and the 5 for the Model 5 of the knife, and the L because this is a left-handed sheet. Now, some people do complain about the whole strap system for the retention of the knife and the sheet. For two main reasons. First of all is the accessibility of the knife. When you work actively with it, it can be like a pain and it gets in the way and all that. I get it. Plus, some people are always scared, or they did cut out the strap when they pull it out a bit too quickly. It never happened to me. The strap is in great shape, but I always have this fear in the back of my mind. Maybe one day it will happen and I'll address the situation when it does. But the whole package just looks great. I mean, it rides perfectly on your body. Not too high, not too low. It doesn't poke you in the ribs or anything like that. Anyways, for my body shape. Now, your knife would come with a honing stone, a sharpening stone. To me, these are kind of novelties, so I just toss them out. And instead I carry a USD fire steel. So I always have like a fire device with my knife. They work great. They're not novelties to me, that they actually work. I've tested them. Anyways, and they come with a striker because something to note, your Randal made knife has a rounded spine, so it will not throw spark, which is a cardinal sin for some bushcrafters. So just gotta keep that in mind, right? But all in all, to me, the sheet serve its purpose. I could see how a pouch sheet could be a bit more versatile, but hey, what you gonna do? So the leather is kind of scratched up and dinged up a bit. I've seen some way worse than this, but like you can see a little ding here or whatnot. Again, to me those are just proof that my tools are getting used and it's honest use and I like it. Actually, this little scratch here, if I recall, plus the one on the close to the snap, was one day I fell like in a mud puddle in the woods. My friends were laughing there. they were bought off. Again, great story. Great story to tell. All in all, a great package. So now, how do I use my Randal made knife? So to me, I was always impressed and I respected outdoorsmen or hunters or fishermen who could commit to their tools. Sometimes I see some old hunters and they tell me, yep, this is my knife and I've carried it for the past 30 years. And like you can see that they've been sharpened to the core, and that was their friend, that was their companion, and they have like all those great stories, and their knives are beat up, but like in a good way, you know. They have those great patinas and all. They're dinged up, but as I said, to me they're kind of a badge of honor. And I always say to myself, man, if this knife could talk, it would have some great stories to tell. So for the past two years, actually, I've been pretty much committed to this knife, and I've been carrying it pretty much exclusively for all my outdoors activities when I'm out scouting or hunting or fishing or bushcrafting, you know, doing some controlled survival, if you wish. So I'm trying to commit to this blade, to understand it. I'm trying to learn how to go around its shortcomings, because it has some to me, but not a lot. And I'm trying to, you know, make it like an extension of my arm. It's not easy, but I'm working on it. Anyways, so how do I use it? As I was saying, I hunt a lot. It's been great to process game. I mean, I've had the chance to field dress some snipes and some ducks, some geese, some honkers with it, some fish, trouts, mostly. Haven't had a chance to process a deer with it. Hopefully this will change this year. Now, as far as the design goes, this is the Model 5 Camp and Trail, and I like it a lot. It's very versatile, of course. There's some jimping on top. It's not aggressive too much, but it keeps your finger in place, because I hold my knife like this, mostly. And it's well done, I ain't gonna lie. It has this finger choil. I don't mind it. I'm not especially a big fan. It's alright. To me, the finger guard could have been a bit less extended. Personal preference, of course. The grip is very, very positive. Since it's, I don't know if it's a broomstick handle kind of grip, but you can take it any way you want. And what I like, and you don't see that often on knives these days, if you ask me, it's the soldered guard here. That's a very, very nice touch, and it speaks to the integrity of the knife, because even though this is I don't know if it's a rat tail thing, but you can see that it's pin here. I mean, it's not a full thing, but that's fine with me. I don't baton very often. I used to when I first started out. You see all these guys on YouTube with their BK9 and hunglisses, and they just go and baton like a whole tree I used to do that, but nowadays I just carry a hatchet. But I'm sure that this knife would stand up to the task if it was called upon him. Just gotta be smart about it, you know, and know how to baton wood intelligently. Anyhow, do you need a Randal made knife? It depends. I needed one. I wanted one for a long time, and I needed one in my book, because I just love the history and the nostalgia and the heritage that this brand carries. You know, I mean, Randal, as far as I know, started to make knife in 1938. Around that time, his knife got famous in the Second World War. Then they've been carried in basically every major war theater that the Americans have been through. Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan. So and I mean, from my understanding, a lot of great outdoorsmen, adventurers, fishermen, hunters carried these knives, and they trusted them with their life oftentimes. And so, if it was good enough for them, you can bet it's good enough for me. Some people just like to collect them and put them like in a safe, and that's real fine. For some of people, for some guys, they're they're an investment. To me, they're a tool. They were made for that, and I care, and it makes me extremely happy and have a pride when carrying it and using it. So let me tell you something that you already know. You will love this knife.